Right, so we will be making a couple of videos, and this is just the unbagging in case there's an issue with this eBay purchase, but I managed to get my hands on a GHD UnPlugged. This is their cordless version, and I thought it would be interesting to see what has been changed, see if there's any interesting features and if they've made any howlers. Looks like we've got a mechanical switch, we've got I think that's a C type USB charge point, a little bit of rubber there. So as I say, yeah, GHD UnPlugged. Let's just turn these on, and then later on I should be making a video of taking them apart, and we'll have a closer look inside. I'm assuming they're charged, but let's have a look. Yep, definitely charged and coming on, heating up. So yeah, let's see what they do when they sound just like the GHD Golds, I think. So I'm assuming that is a power level there. Amazon, meters on. Oh, I used this piece of junk. Really? They're taking that long to heat up?
Meters isn't responding. Please check its network connection and
Alexa,
power supply.
Meters on. Well, everything's working well today. I assume that's reached temperature. Oh, there we go. Oh, the meters have just decided to fire up. So I don't know whether we've got a low battery or what's going on with these. So temperature is only 160 degrees. I assume that's flashing because it's now gone off. So battery is low, I should imagine. Yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, we'll get these charged up, and we'll check the temperature that they're running at, and yeah, then we'll have a little tear down, have a closer look, see if we can get into these and see what's in there. So we've plugged a USB cable in, and you can just see that single LED flashing. It's 2:20, and we'll see how long this takes to fully charge. So we're just back with this X-Display GHD UnPlugged, and unfortunately it would appear to be faulty. As soon as you turn it on, the battery is virtually zero. It won't fire up. If you turn it off, I'm plugging this into a USB adapter, and it will just alarm in a minute. There we go. If we unplug that and go straight into a Samsung, this is a 5 volt 2 amp, so we can try that one. Again, you get the charging light flash, and then it will alarm again in a minute. There we go. I've got another adapter on the other side of the workshop. I'll just plug it in over there. Same problem, that red alarm comes on. And let's try a different cable. This is a new cable. Again, appears to be charging. So, different charger, different cable, that seems to be flashing away. I did have it plugged in over here for a couple of hours and it made absolutely no difference. Don't know what the hell's going on here. Why would a cable make any difference? I think all I can do really is leave it on charge for another couple of hours. It's supposed to take 2 hours and then you're going to get a 20-minute session if you're lucky out of it. But it's already been plugged in here and it's for, what is it, 3 hours. It's made no difference. I thought, okay, we'll change the charger. It's plugged into a 2.1 amp outlet. So I'm going to leave it in there again. We'll see if it makes any difference. If not, I think we've been sold a dud and I'll have to go back. Okay, so back again. Now, I did suspect an issue with this. I could not get this to charge correctly. It would just flash the first LED as if you just connected it like that. It's now fully charged. I had to mess around with the USB cables, so whether it needs just a charge only cable, I'm not sure. Currently it's plugged into a RAV Power 6-way smart USB adapter charger, and I've fitted one of these magnetic pieces that go with the cable. This probably is a good idea for users of these because you can just plug that in, leave that connected, and there's no wear and tear on the USB port when you want to charge this. And I think you're going to be charging it pretty often. GHD themselves say 2-hour charge is required, and then you're going to get around about the 20 minutes depending on how you use it. If it's unused for 3 minutes, it will turn itself off and you are literally going to have to hit the switch off and back on again to power it back on again. So yeah, fully charged. You cannot run this when it is plugged in. Absolutely nothing happens when you turn the switch on when it's charging. So we're going to unplug that. We're going to get our temperature probe and we are going to have a look at this firing up and the sequence of lights. And let's just get the probe in there. 60, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, thinks it's up to temperature, 170, 180, 185, yeah, it's 186, and it's settling around the 186, 187 region. So for a cordless piece of gear, that's pretty quick heat up time, and as I say, approximately 20 minutes. That's probably intermittent use. I think if we left this, well, we can't leave it on for 20 minutes to see if it will actually go one charge in 20 minutes, because it will power off after 3 minutes. Yeah, so that's cool. That's cooled down a bit, and it's now going back up to temperature. But yeah, normal GHDs would not, mains powered, would not generally cool down very much. Just going over and heating up a dry towel like that. Yeah, 179, 180. Yeah, it's there or thereabouts. Obviously the temperature is going to drop very slightly whilst it's being used, if your hair was soaking wet perhaps. They've got these finger guards here. That is because further down is going to be quite hot, and your fingers shouldn't really be any further along than the little curved raised bits on the arms there. So yeah, now let's have a look whilst we're here at the size of the ceramic plates compared to one of the newer models. Drop some on the floor. So this is the ceramic plate from a GHD Gold, a later model, and you can probably see that is, let's measure it. It's about 7mm smaller, shorter in length. That is the GHD Gold. It's about 7mm longer. I suspect the width is probably the same. Actually the width is less as well. Yep, we've got less width there, probably 3 or 4mm smaller plate width-wise, so obviously you're going to be able to do less with each stroke of the unplugged irons. So we've already lost one of the LEDs. I think if we leave it for the 3 minutes it will turn off. So next thing for me to do is to let these cool down and have a closer look. In fact, I'm not even going to do that. Let's just turn these off. Now the construction looks very, very similar to the Gold. This cover will come off, I suspect, with one of these spudgers. And we'll probably have to start down at this end like we do on the Golds. Tolerance seems quite tight on these. Let's have a closer look. Just wondering if I'm mistaken there and that does not come off. It has to, there's no other way, is there really? Let's just see if we can tuck that down here. It definitely goes down here. There's a piece of rubber at this end. It would be a shame to damage these getting them apart, but that's what they've been bought for. Quite so easy to work on when they're so hot. It doesn't look like there's a seal, there's no gap there where I would expect to see it. So how the hell have they assembled these? yeah, don't know. I think we might have to let these cool down, and we'll play with these when they're not quite so hot. But that is not as clear cut as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a cover that just pops off. It looks like that is not the case. You can see the join here. It's almost like this piece pops off of the actual arm, which leads me there to think then that these ends have to come off. There is a bit of movement here, but obviously there's electrics under here. The electronics are underneath there. So yeah, interesting. Might see if we can prise this rubber piece off there, see whether that exposes anything. Yeah, there we go. There is that rubber piece off of there, and underneath here we have two small Phillips screws. This is a little reminiscent of the platinum hinge. So that's great for this side, but I've absolutely no idea what we do about the other side. Now, what has that allowed us to achieve? Oh, that's pulled off a little bit. There is another rubber cap. Okay, so put my glasses back on. With the arms pushed together, you can hopefully see a little rubber cap in there between the arms. It looks like that is going to come out with a flat-bladed screwdriver, and I suspect it's probably hiding another screw. So we're just prising that out carefully. Oh, there we go. And that is indeed hiding another screw, and that is holding the end on, so that's why part of the end was freed up and part wasn't. There we go. Okay, so let's get these screws so we've already got lost the screw. How does that happen? It's a sake. Okay. So these screws look like they are the same size, the three of them. Yeah, they are. So, and that is not a plastic, sorry, is not a metal end like it's been on the platinums. That is a plastic piece. Now, we've got a very interesting hinge assembly there. You can see here there's a plastic piece that's pushed through and then out the other side, and it looks like there is a double spring arrangement here, and part of it goes into little slots, little cutouts just in here and in the other side just there. I don't know whether you can see that, hopefully you can. So I'm guessing we are going to have to push that out. I can see a very small connector onto a circuit board that is going to the lights button and charging point, I would think, possibly even just to the charging point. So let's push that pin out, and it looks to me like it will just push out from this side. Yep, there we go. Actually straight out from the other side. So it's going to be important to remember which way round that goes. Actually, again, looking at it, it can only go one way round. That's the bit that pushes through, and you can see there's a big lug on this one that sits inside the hole there. So you can't really get that wrong. Now, what happens at this stage? Okay. So now this arm is almost free, but if you look in there, I don't know whether you can see it, but there are some cables. There are some thicker cables and some thinner ones, and yeah, no easy way to access that. Don't know whether we can now get this cover off. No, I don't think so. Looks like that is on the cables going up to the charger. Look like they might be on a plug and socket arrangement, but then there are some thicker wires, a red and black, obviously for the element, I would assume. That goes straight into here. So can we unplug that? We certainly might be able to. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite hard to get into there. Oh, that wire broke the second I touched it. So that's interesting. Not sure that that comes apart there. Just try this instead. Yeah, it does. There is a plug that pulls out, and as I say, I've broken one of the wires. Is that going to help us get any more of that out? In fact, it looks like I've broken two wires just by touching it. Yeah, two wires broken there. Wow, that is a fragile connection. Just see it hopefully in there. But those black and white wires are not allowing me to pull this out any further. So we've still got to get this arm apart somehow. It does look like this wants to unclip. See, we've got it partially unclipped down the side. And I think it just clipped itself back in there. Oh, okay, now we've got that off. Okay, so there is that cover, and that's our first look inside. So, yeah, actually, this is power coming from the lithium-ion battery. Hopefully you can see all of that. They are soldered on. Let's have a closer look. So we've got another STM32, as you would expect. Very similar sort of board to the golds. And that will come out at this point. That just lifts away, and there you can see there's no need to dismantle that any further, and it just slides back in. Which way? Really should have paid more attention to that, but that way. So yeah, let's just remove that. Now I'm going to pull out this. Actually, I'm not going to pull anything out, I'm going to just lever it out with the screwdriver, and you can see how fine this is. So I'm going to try and hold it in front of the camera. There, very, very small connector, really doesn't give you much room to manoeuvre, and as I say, I've broken two of those cables. No idea whether I'm going to be able to repair that or not. I think I might be able to. I'll have to get the microscope out and have a closer look. So nothing much going on in this side. We've got a silicone rubber piece that goes under and over these wires. There we go. And let's cool down enough just to have a closer look. That is pretty much the same as the golds, the mount. There's no thermal fuse in there. You've got the silicone pieces, and you've got the clips that look pretty much like the gold. It looks like that will slide out of there. There is another metal end here. That's obviously the USB port and everything there. I'm not going to take that. Actually, am I going to take that apart? Oh, let's have a look. No, not at the moment. I'm more interested in what's going on the other side. Now, can we unplug those wires? No, it doesn't look like we can. So we're now going to have to crack open a couple of bits of broken plastic. So there's obviously something broken as we took that apart. Clips on. Oh, there's one clip broken. And there. Yeah, these are really not happy about being opened, are they? Actually, are they on little... Oh, they are sneaky buggers. They have put 2 metal rods there and up here, and this cover has got holes. You see, I don't know whether you can see whether it's focused or not. You see the holes? So if you pull this up, you're going to break it. It's got to come up at the other end, and it's got to actually tuck in there, like so. Yeah, if you pull that up, you're going to break it. Now, I don't know whether I've broken that or... Yeah, I think that's what's happened. Yeah, it's definitely what's happened. So they were solid circles of plastic, and where I've forced that up, that's actually broken them. So, yeah, that is a big pitfall there. Now, I would think that the hinge will keep that pressed on there, and the other clips, if they weren't broken. 3 are good, 1's broken, and the ends are broken. That will probably stay put. I think I'm just going to unsolder these and just get that out. Okay. So let's just put that to one side for a moment. Really quite interested in seeing how this one... We now know that that is likely to be on a similar arrangement. Though you should not just pull that way. Sorry, up. You've got to start from this end. So that's what we'll do with this one. Yeah, and I am thinking that no, these are not likely to be repairable. Yeah, definitely has to come apart here. Have a look at this end just in case it is slightly different. No, that's really tight there. I think we are looking here to get it apart. Yeah, that's very, very tight. Yeah, that's not looking very good, is it? No, definitely haven't missed anything, but just don't see how that's coming apart. These were not designed to be taken apart. Oh, there we go. We've got to be a bit careful here of the lithium-ion battery when I'll be going through that. We'll have a workshop full of smoke, at least. I think this is different. This side, it's not on the same arrangement. No, indeed it isn't. That's completely different. So that has just prized off. A few little marks down the side, but not too bad. So what have we got here? We have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery pack. It's an 18650-2S1P. Nominal voltage 7.2 volts, maximum charge voltage 8.4, and this is a 3120 milliamp hour. Rated minimum capacity 3000 milliamp hours. Manufacturer is TWS Technology, made in China. So let's have a closer look at that. And we have two connections there, and we've got another two connections at this end going off to the other arm. Let's just see what we've got here voltage wise. What's going on? We've got nothing. Maybe it's not being switched. Interesting. Couple of bits of broken plastic. Where that's gone. We've got the same arrangement here. I don't know whether these are stuck in there or what. The battery does not want to come out of there. No. Yeah, it's definitely stuck in place. There we go. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of double-sided tape there. So that's the setup. Looks like the two centre cables go under here from there into the connections there. Obviously got something going on underneath there, probably more circuitry. Definitely broke that clip there. I suppose we should have a peek at what's inside one of these. Now they're going to suffer from very similar problems to the gold model. You have to question the amount of thermal paste used on the golds. Now this does not want to move. I think it does, but it's going to need levering off again. There we go. Well, wow, that is super light. I mean, that really weighs. In fact, I'm going to tell you how much it weighs. I can't believe how light that is. That is very, very thin. There is a sort of watery look to the thermal paste, if that will focus. I'm just going to weigh this. 10 grams that weighs, and a actually probably not a massive difference considering the size difference. Yeah, it's 15, so I guess I'm just used to feeling the weight of the other older mounts. I'm going to check a Mark V as well. that's 10, believe it or not. So that's the size difference, if you can see. I'm going to put it that way, hopefully you'll be able to see that. So there is quite a difference in length, and if we put them this way, you'll see that the width also is, well, not too much difference, but there is a, let me get it right. Yeah, there is a little difference there. So elements wise, again shorter elements, width is actually more, the width is more than the gold, but the length is less, so that's interesting. We've got an overall smaller ceramic plate. Ceramic plate. Oh, now what's in here? We've got a fuse of some description. Oh, shit. Shorting out the terminals. Again, we've got this rubber. Aha. So again, they have gone for a different fuse this time, and one end, these are 4 wires, but we've got one, there you go, there's the fuse. It's a 228 degree fuse, and it is not glued to that body, but it is being held in place with the silicone rubber piece, and it is soldered, well, soldered or just brazed in at that end. If that will focus again, and they've got a crimp on the actual lead out of the thermal fuse at both ends, and yeah, interesting. Again, really not much in the way of thermal paste on these, so I suspect there may be issues to come in the future if they're anything like the GHD Gold, the S9U221. So okay, that is that side done. Again, mount totally unique to these. Spring clips, let's see if they have used the same as the others. Well, there is a hole in this one, and there is no hole in the GHD Gold spring clip. It's probably a very slightly different size. I think what we're going to do is slice along here and see what is under this. Let's have a little look. It literally is a cover. We have some. Is there anything in that tube? I think it's just there for protection. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing underneath, it's just protecting the wires there. We've got a paper cover this side, it's a sort of mylar. Okay, now we've got the gubbings. Let's have a closer look at this. There we go, let's get that off. Let's have a look at this. So we've definitely got some surface mount components there. They're under some sort of black, I don't know whether it's yes, and some sort of epoxy perhaps. Let me give you a close-up of what's in there. Again, absolutely nothing we can do with with any of that. The lithium cells are not going to be replaceable either, because it looks like they have been, well, they have, it doesn't look like it, they definitely have, they have been spot welded. Let me just grab a little pointer. The terminals have been spot welded to this circuit board, or this focus, so you see the spot welding here, the little dots, same at the other end, and then this one here again was spot welded. There's what, half a dozen little welds that are holding that to the board, so really absolutely nothing can be done with this. So hopefully GHD's warranty will cover any issues. I suspect they've probably got a 2-year warranty, and yeah. There's quite a lot of electronics to go wrong in here. So what I'm going to do is just unsolder these wires here, and then we'll get some readings off of them. Okay, that's that, and we will just get them off at this end as well. Nearly. Okay, there we go. Well, whatever that did, took something out. Some sort of protection there. Yeah, don't know. Can't quite make out the screen print on these components. The black has gone over it. I don't think we're going to be able to get to it without scraping it off. No, each one of those black covered components has got a screen printed designation, and I can't read it. No, don't know. Right, so we are not going to be able to do anything with that, so might as well just snip the wires off of there. And yeah. So let's get some readings off of here. Okay. So the elements are going to read okay, that's not what I was expecting. Let's try it on these. Okay, so this is 556 ohms, pretty much what you would get on the gold thermistors that are inside these. And why are we getting such a weird reading on the element? We have a 0.42 ohm reading. What the hell am I missing there? Okay, I guess it just must be a very low ohms. I'm just going to null these out actually and see what we get. Okay, so we can allow 0.01, so that makes this 0.5, half an ohm resistance element. There's 837 written on the actual element. I think we're going to grab the other side. What the hell is going on there? Now, that other side does just pull free, and you can see the USB circuitry there. That has to be the smallest slide switch I've ever seen in my life. Hopefully that's in focus for you guys. That is tiny. Oh God, can you imagine just breaking that off and writing these off? Just so tiny. Any lateral movement on that is just going to snap that off. Oh God. Yeah, no. That would have been so much easier if it was a push button, but of course with the battery powered design that cannot be how it works. So yeah. Well, I'm just going to measure these heater wires that are actually labelled heater. Just make sure I'm not doing something stupid here. I think I might be. No, no, it's half an ohm. And then this side has to be the thermistor. Let's check. Yeah, 504 ohms in this case. So we just have a super low ohms element. So this side we have the STM, various components, nothing much of interest, crystal. That switch just is ridiculous. It really wouldn't take much to break that. All of these connections are soldered. Again, that's got to be better than those hideous push fit clips on the GHD Golds. I've got a header pads just here. Focus just down there, and it actually looks like something's been soldered to that and then removed, because I can actually see flux and where the solder's been reflowed. This is a Giselle Rev 7 board. So yeah, interesting. I wonder if they've actually done this in the factory. You can see hopefully that how that has been soldered, that has not come out of the reflow machine like that, or the wave soldering machine, however this is done. Again, very fragile. It wouldn't take much of an incident to start breaking bits here. So yeah, again, let's just remove the wires. So here we've got one really thick wire. Yet the other one is why is that doing that? Because it's turned up too bloody high as Y. Let's try again. Ouch. Okay, there we go. So yeah, well, really not a hell of a lot to say. I suspect we've got the same problems with the elements and the amount of thermal paste that's on there. So it'll be interesting to see how these fare over the years. And I think all of us know that we are not going to be able to take these in for repair. And there's a couple of factors also, even if these were easier to repair. They're so expensive, you're never going to be able to buy one of these at reasonable prices to build up a set of spares. I mean, as soon as you take these apart, you're going to be breaking a cover. The elements, yeah, not a chance. You're not going to be able to get those. God's sake. Yeah, it's half an ohm. Thermistor, 521 now. Yeah, crimped on thermal fuse, 2 to 8 degrees. So yeah, very interesting indeed. And everything held in place. Yeah, as soon as you push on there, that is touching the element. So with a little bit of pressure from the plastic, that is in good firm contact. So yeah, there we go. Again, not really much thermal paste to talk about. Don't know whether that's going to end well or not. Hopefully you can see the lack of it. For some reason there's plenty at the either end where the element doesn't sit, and on here it's just nothing. Same with the other one. I can wipe my finger over that, it's clean. But both ends have got quite a lot of thermal paste. It's almost like they've coated it and they've rubbed it backwards and forwards, and they've got rid of most of it from underneath there, and it's ended up pooled at either end. Quite sure what to make of that. Okay, so really not much. I probably should have taken a photo of these when they were in one bit for the website, but yeah, there's really not much I can say about these other than they are certainly not going to be repairable, and 300 quid. Youch. Yeah, let's hope the warranty's good. Anyway, look, hope that was useful. It's going to save a whole load of other engineers buying a pair of these or trying to take a pair apart. It's very likely that you're going to do some damage if you do take these apart. Certainly on that side I've broken a clip there. This side, clip there broken. The others are intact. On this side we've got 4 clips, one's broken, and on this side yeah, looks like they've got the usual clips, smaller clips there, and they are absolutely fine. So yeah, sorry, can't recommend that. Yes, to the customers, I'm sure it's great. If you want a 20-minute maximum usage time, a £300 cordless hair straightener, then I'm sure these will be absolutely fine. Engineer wise, yeah, sorry guys. Actually, just to finish this off, these are actually pretty straightforward to get back together again. I've just reassembled them minus the internals, purely for photographic purposes, and just wanted to get this onto the website with this video, just so we've got it on there. Try and look at all of the models that I can get at a reasonable price. These were half price, and pretty much wasted all of that money, apart from just to verify that we can or can't do anything with these in the future. And I suspect you'll probably agree that we cannot really expect to do anything with these. We're obviously not going to suffer from the usual damaged cables and that sort of thing, so really GHD have taken these ones out of the repair market. Any warranty issues, no doubt they will just send a replacement out. So yeah, I'm just going to get a couple of photos of these for the website, and we will be done. But straightforward enough to put back together again if you happen to ever have a pair of these. Anyway, I hope that was interesting, if nothing else, and sorry guys, we can't make any money out of this pair.